Welcome back into the shop, guys. Today I'm testing out a new mic, so I'm hoping the video or the audio quality goes a little better. Um, Today we're going to be continuing on with our red, white, and blue series. I've got some blue that's already made up. We're going to get this plastic cooked and start in on some new, so stick around. We'll get into it. All right, guys, so went ahead, got this plastic cooked out, threw it in the vacuum chamber. We're ready to roll. We're going to continue, obviously, with our blue. Um, Today, we've only got a cup and a third. We're down to the last of our plastic, and our next order is on the way. So, today, we're going to be using the Phthalo Blue. We're going to be doing 14 drops for a cup and a third. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'll go 15. We'll go ahead and give that a nice stir, and it gives it this nice deep ocean blue. Not only is this going into our patriotic bundle, but it will also be sold separately with flake. The patriotic bundle is not getting flake in it because of how dark it is. It just washes out that flake really bad. So we're also going to finish out one full set for the frogs. We're going to go ahead and run this. The mold's cold. The injector's cold, so we're shooting it a little warmer than normal. I think we were right around 170 when I checked it. So here we go with the first run on these blue frogs. Come on. There we go. We'll get that put back in there. Injector set to the side. And just like normal, we'll sit here and keep this topped up. Not only will this go beautifully in the patriotic bundle, which is what it's for, but if you've got one of the Midnight Craw jigs, it will pair up with that amazingly for a nice pop of blue with a black and blue jig. This is the color we're going to be looking at. This is all remelt from the dice that we did. So the next couple of videos, we will get into the dice as well. And now that they've set and cured for a while, we'll get them put together. I will admit that the dice take a lot longer than I would like to admit to thread up, but we do have, I think I got some nice bright or dark blue. Yeah, right here. These will be going into our blue dice, a metallic red for the red dice, and nice bright white for the white dice. Boy, this mold is thirsty today. I'm wondering if it's because I shot warmer than normal because this mold was cold. Stick the Phthalo Blue back in the box. And hopefully, weather permitting, next weekend we'll have our first fishing video that we do. I'm going to take out some of the dice that I make and throw those for everybody's uh, enjoyment. Show you guys how well those work. Uh, I went fishing with them not too long ago with some pearl pepper ones that I made a while back, and I have to admit I didn't get anything on camera because at the time I didn't have the uh, phone mount that I've got now, where I was comfortable enough to run it over water. I found a place that I'm not going to have to run it over water. I can go out early morning, get everything going, fish right off a dock, and have it set behind me. But the other issue that I had was we're in Kansas, guys, and Kansas has three things we're known for: wheat, wind, and small bass. I don't think I've had a bass over 4 pounds. My PB is in one of these videos, and it was 4 pounds. So, and that was from the time I can say I've taken a scale. I don't, and it wasn't even my scale. It was another bait maker's scale, and he and I went out and went fishing, and I was using one of the uh, smaller not jigs. Whew, these are pretty. Nice dark blue on them. Go ahead and make sure they shot clear through. We don't have any big bubbles in them. Ooh, those are pretty. So what we'll do, I don't have the uh, tray in here. That was something I forgot to grab, so we're just going to set those to the side. Because this has started to cool, I'm going to go ahead and throw all of my remelt in here, get it melted down, and we're going to go ahead and run. We've got this. I'm going to do one set of I did one set of frogs. We're going to do one set of worms. We're going to shoot for a set of craws and one set of swim baits. Hopefully, we'll be able to get all that done in this run. Um, if we don't, it's not a big deal. We do have more plastic on the way, and when that plastic comes in, we'll get a full set of all the patriotic bundle done. Um, I haven't set a price really on these. I've tossed it around a few times in my head, but I'm not 100% sure what I want to sell these for just yet. Um, it depends on how much uh, interest we have in these. It also depends on uh, how quickly I can get a storefront set up online and all that sort of stuff. So I am looking into a Shopify store instead of going through Etsy. Shopify is what a lot of people have suggested online over Etsy that I watch on YouTube. So we're going to attempt it and we'll see how things go. You guys let me know your thoughts on it. What you think I should go to, whether I should go back to Etsy or go to Shopify, because Shopify also, they've got their app that once that item leaves the shop, you've got tracking the whole way. Not all the time does that happen with Etsy. I've noticed when I've bought a couple of things off of Etsy, if the person doesn't select the tracking information on the uh, label when they send it, you don't get tracking information, and then you're in the blue about where that is in that process. So let me know what you guys would like to see me do. If you guys have a lure business or anything that you ship, how you go about doing it. I will also say I am I can't do much with technology. Most of my videos don't even have a thumbnail because I don't know how to do those. Um, what you get from me is it goes straight into the video. If I could do a thumbnail, most of the time it would be the bait that I'm deciding to run that day. Um, so if you guys don't mind, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think about what store I should be going to. Um, we're going to go ahead and throw this back in the microwave. And I've got the uh, Ecto Craw here, the 3.4-inch Ecto Craw. We're going to get some of these shot up. I got to get this mold heated up, so I got to get the pancake griddle out. We'll go ahead and get this heated up, and I'll get it set off to the pancake griddle set up off to the side. It's difficult to shoot this on the pancake griddle, but I'll get this warmed up. We'll get it shot, and then we'll move on to the other baits and go as far out as we can with as much of this plastic as we can. It may come down to we only get one run of each bait done, but if I can get one of each bait, I can start uh, with the frogs and get a bag of them done up and get a nice layout and show you guys what this is going to look like. I have decided that it's going to come with 6 jigs. It's going to come with a 1/4 ounce, a 3/8 ounce, and a 1/2 ounce jig in football and in uh, uh, ball head. And it will also be in 3/0. I will not offer it in 3/0, 4/0, and 5/0 just because I don't want to have the jigs back stuck after I get all these sold. I'm only going to do 25 bundles. Once those are out, we're out. So stick around. We'll get this melted back down. I'm going to go grab a pan to put on the milk house heater, and we'll get back to making more baits. All right, so we're back. We got our mold out on our hot plate here. All this is an old pancake griddle. I've separated the craw out to heat up both sides of the mold. We're going to get it warmed up, and we're going to make some of these craws in the blue. All I did was I cranked this up to 250, threw these on. We'll wait until this reads about 125. Yeah, that's still a little bit cool, but I've noticed by doing so, it allows these antennae to fill in completely, and these little legs here fill in completely. So we'll go ahead, we'll throw this on here. I'll bring you guys back. Something else you can do when you do this, I like to extend this out and set it on here. Just warm that uh, uh, injection tube up. Doesn't need to be real hot for this. We've already had one round go through it. It came out fairly well. Yeah, we had a slightly larger than average plug in there, but it wasn't horrible. So the other thing that I'll do at this time is, you guys have heard me talk about oiling this. Uh, push the plunger all the way out. I'll take a small thing of oil. I can refill these with the Lure Works unscented oil when I need to. But right now, these are the oil that come with the Smedioaks molds. Um, I'll oil those down. I'll oil this up with the same oil. It's a little bit thicker oil, but it allows this to plunge a lot more smoothly. I think the reason that was so difficult to, yep, those are warm. The reason that it was so difficult to uh, run the plunger on the frogs to try and purge the air out of the tube was because of not having enough oil in there. We're going to go ahead and let these warm up a little more. They are quite warm, though, to the touch. They don't feel good to touch. I don't know how close to actually being 70 they are. I mean, they're on a 427 degree hot plate. I don't know how accurate this hot plate is, but the reason I don't use it anymore is I was burning pancakes on it all the time. I'd set it at 250 and burn them, and at between 375, 385 is the highest I've seen on here so far on this go. The big number there is what it's reading. The smaller number down below is what the highest spike was. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. We'll go ahead and glove up. I'll move this back into the storage room because this is the only mold I need it for. And we will get our soft plastic made up and get this blue craw shot. All right, we're back. I almost forgot to record this part, so we'll go ahead. Yeah, that shoots out that purge shot a lot better now. And we're going to go ahead and hit this 4-cavity Ectocraw here. Get it going. Get that set up out of the way. And we shot this around 340 degrees. Talking with my friend that is helping me learn how to be a better lure crafter. He instructed me to heat the mold. If that doesn't work on making the uh, antennae come out better. That it's not the heat of the mold, it's the heat of the plastic. So if we have to do this again, we'll have the plastic to, uh, we'll have to bump the plastic up in temp. We're going to do one round of these. We've got one round of frogs. We'll do 2 rounds of the craws. We'll do our stick baits. We'll do a round of those. In fact, I should have done those with this, but I don't have them clamped up at the moment. But if I hurry, I can keep this warm because I've got the clamps here. We'll get these clamped up real quick, and all I use for those are some C-clamps from Harbor Freight. Nope, that'll break the mold. That'll break the mold. Hopefully, here in the near future, we will have 3 Angling AI core shot molds to do this with. And then I won't need to worry about possibly breaking the mold with how tightly I clamp. All right, let's check and see if we're still hot enough to shoot. I think I can shoot my worms at that temp. We're at 208. We're going to attempt it. Move the craws out of the way so you guys can see what's going on here. I'm going to hold quite a bit of pressure here. All right. So we got that done now. The craws are no longer drinking. So we could go ahead and, ooh, that's warm. Lay them down. Pop these off. I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves back on after I fill these screws up here. These are drinking pretty well. Fill that back up. Shouldn't need to fill any more on that. We'll go ahead and crack these craws out. Get the first shooting of these done. Something else I'm going to let everybody know. When I was shooting these as 3-inch craws, they came in an 8-pack. Now that these are, ooh, no. I just bent my stir stick. That's not good. Now that these are 3.5-inch, they're going to come 7 to a pack instead of 8 to a pack. Only because they're not 3 inches, they're 3.5. The 3-inch craws that I was making are no longer going to be offered. All right, and these kind of fell out of the mold, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull them out for everybody. We'll get ungloved here, and I don't have much dexterity use in gloves of that style. We got these nice blue, phthalo blue craws. We're going to do 2 rounds of those today so that we get our 6 for the bags. But like I was saying, these are going to come 6 to a bag because they are larger craws. They're full size. They're not the uh, 3-inch baby craws. I'm no longer going to be offering the 3-inch baby craws just because I didn't like the way. It's not I didn't like the way the mold shot. I don't like the way that I had to do the runs for them. It's not, those molds are not set up, especially, it's same as this, it's Smetty Oaks molds. They're not fully set up for business production. They're more of a uh, garage bait makers setup. I started with them because they were 30 $35 to $40 a piece starting out. You know, not a big deal. They're cheap. You can get a few of them, get started, get made what you need made. My issue here is though the the fact that yeah, I can get 6 worms out of every run with these, but when I'm doing a run of 60, I do this all day long after I get home from my normal job, and it just takes entirely too long. So I will be upgrading my molds, getting rid of the Smetty Oaks. I'll probably give those away at some point, both the worm mold because I figured out what I was doing wrong since we tried to shoot the white worms. I found out what I was doing epically wrong with those. So I was shooting way too hot, causing the dents. And so now that I know what I did wrong, I can fix it and have the baits run correctly. You want to run the Smetty Oaks molds, you want to run the stuff through them about 300 to 310 instead of like you would with aluminum molds, running it a little warmer to start with at like 330 and backing down from there. And this is the reason that I held so much pressure. But we've got a set of 3 Smetty Oaks worms here. They're 5-inch worms. We'll need to trim those up when we're done. Where the vent was, but other than that, they came out fairly well. Here's that second mold of those. You get 3 per mold. And again, these came out looking pretty good. We'll take these vent molds or the vent overpour off. Set these to the side. That's one set of worms done. All right, let's get back to our second set of craws. Hopefully this mold's still decently warm. Needs to be so we can get a full pour on them. And it very well is. That was warm on my hands. So we'll get this remelted. I'll get the second round of craws done. And we'll also get a round of the swim baits done when we come back. Oh, guys, I did it again. I didn't hit the record button like I thought I had, and went ahead and shot these two molds. We've got the Ecto Craw going again. It's our second run with it, but the 3-inch boot tails here, this is our first run with them, and we didn't get the first run, but I will end up having to do a second run with them, so it's not a huge deal. Because we need 8 of these and the mold only makes 6. But we've got 1 round of frogs, 1 round of craws when these come out, 1 round of worms, and 3/4 of a round of our swim baits. And we will get these done. I will have I'll get some of the blue dice threaded out, and if I can figure out how to make a thumbnail, I will have this full set be the thumbnail, and we'll do that with the videos that we do for our bundles that I'm going to put out in the future. I'm wanting to do a bundle in basically every color that I make. That'll be 3 ball head jigs, 3 football head jigs, and a set of every bait that I make. And the basic baits that you would use with that jig. And things like holiday runs will have every bait that I make, a full set of them. Eventually, I would like to get into. Eventually, I would like to get into hand pouring things, like Chris Jones does. That man has got some immaculate baits that he does. I love the way that his lures look. If you guys are interested in more of the custom bait end of this and open pour stuff, World's Worst Fishing on YouTube, and I believe he's also on Instagram. That's where he sells most of his stuff from. He'll post it on Instagram, and you can go in and buy up however much of what he makes, and it's not runs like what I'm doing that he makes. He makes what he feels like making, and that's what he sells. He might still do custom lures. I know at one point he did, but I'm not 100% sure as to whether or not he still does. But these look like they're not drinking anymore. The tops are pretty well solid, so we'll clip that, which I didn't do on the other ones. Should have. Get these broke out. Hopefully, they will somewhat stay on one side, and I can do a nice reveal in the mold, but it doesn't look like they're going to. They don't want to cooperate. Well, it looks like it's trying to come out that side. So, if I can get this one craw, it wanted to come out on the bottom instead of the top. And one craw did not want to cooperate at all, but the other ones kind of did. That's the bottom side of the ecto craw there. And peel them out. And this is that top side. This is one full run of these now, as they come in a 6-pack instead of an 8-pack anymore. But I'm still going to run as many lures as I can in one run. You know, trying to make bundles like this. Go ahead and put the mold back together right. And the good thing about these molds is, unlike my worm mold or the craw molds that I used to use, this only goes together one way. If you don't put it together right, it will not work. Okay, so we are back with the blue. I decided while I was gone to upgrade, and instead of doing 3-inch swim baits, I'm going to do 4.2-inch ripraps. I was loaned this mold by a friend of mine, and I think this is what we're going to make for the swim baits, is a 4.2 instead of the 3-inch. So we'll go ahead and make this up. And these are individual ports on here. So unlike all the crawfish and the other swim baits that we were going to do, these are one bait per shot instead of 3 or 4 like our frogs and craws. Again, this is a 4.2-inch riprap. It's a 4.2-inch boot tail swim bait. I decided to go with this over the 3-inch just because it's a larger profile. You will end up with 6 of these instead of 8. So you'll have 18 total between the red, white, and blue. And these drew down after they didn't look like they were going to. But I don't think they're going to draw far enough, because this, when I open this up, I'll show you the sprue on these. And the sprue goes down to about the top of where this is. So I don't think that they're going to draw that much in and be able to pull it all the way, but we'll go ahead and check. If I'm wrong, we'll melt them down and redo them. But there we go. We've got, well, I had one that I can show you. That's the 4.2-inch Rip Raps. Again, this isn't a mold that I own. This is one that was loaned to me. And we'll go ahead and clip that off the sprue. But this will be what comes in the 4th of July bundle. So we'll go ahead and pull all 4 of these out. I have to run 2 more of them. For the haul that we're doing. But again, these are just a bigger profile, and they're, in my opinion, a better bass fishing lure. Yeah, not everything that I'm going to make is going to be for bass, but for the 4th of July stuff, the red, white, and blue stuff, the patriotic stuff, however we label it, I'm wanting these larger lures. And the plus side of these too, they don't draw down as much, so there's not as many bubbles that can form in it. Again, we got to do 2 more of these. So we'll get these knocked out real quick. And I'll get the blue dice ran. And then we'll go through and clip off all the sprues. And we'll talk about what's to come in the future. All right, guys, this is what's going to come in the bundle for the blue. You'll get 6 worms, 3 frogs, 7 craws, 6 swim baits, and 5 dice. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and suggest this to your friends. And remember, guys, try not to be boring.